हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव. After garnering maximum views for the 𝗃𝗃𝗃 Golu showcase last year, we are again privileged to present this year's Shiva themed Golu by the mother-daughter duo Srimati Priyadarshini and Nithya. This year's Shiva theme focuses mainly on two sets of important Shiva temples, the Pancha Kedar in northern India and the Pancha Bhoota Sthalams in southern India. At the entrance, we see a beautifully adorned set of Krishna Radha, above which we see Lord Rama with Sita Devi, Lakshmana and Hanuman. Before dwelling into the themed Golu, Jagannatha is depicted in the form of goddess Durga seated majestically on her Vahana, the lion. In the traditionally arranged Golupadi, we see Lord Shiva and Parvati standing tall amidst the backdrop of Kailasha. In the next step, we see how Nandi shows his affection towards the Lord, the Ardhanarishwarar form of Shiva, the Shiva Tandava doll, the Amarnath Panilingam. In the third step, we see a Shiva doll surrounded by the 12 Jyotirlingas. Next, we see the Dashavatar of Lord Vishnu, below which the Tridevis, Mahishasuramardini, and the arrangement of Lakshmi and Saraswati along with the Navadurgas. With the Shiva idol in the center, Adi Shankaracharya, Hanuman and Sai Baba, who are considered to be the Lord's incarnation, are placed in this step. Keeping in with the theme, the Marapachi dolls have been dressed like Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, and along with them sit the Chettiar and Chettichi dolls. Now for the most awaited part of this Golu, the first theme, Pancha Bhoota Sthalams in southern India, which represents the 5 elements, starting with the Ekambareshwarar temple in Kanchipuram, which signifies the earth element. Here, Lord Shiva is represented by sand and is worshipped as Ekambaranathar, which means Lord of Mango Tree, along with his consort 𝗟𝗲𝗃𝗃. Long ago, Goddess Parvati was in deep penance under a mango tree. To test her devotion, Lord Shiva posed many hurdles which she overcame successfully. She made a Shivalingam from sand near the mango tree in remembrance of the Lord and consecrated it. In this temple, Abhishekam for the sand lingam is done using jasmine oil. The mango tree still exists and continues to yield mangoes every year. Moving on to the next element, that is water, the temple is located at Thiruvannaikkaval, Trichy. Lord Shiva as Jambukeshwarar is worshipped in the form of Uplingam. A stream of water flows under the lingam and engulfs the lingam with water many times. Goddess Parvati as Akhilandeshwari found Jambu forest to perform her penance. Here, Shiva and Parvati share a Guru-Shishya relationship. Their idols are not kept side by side but are kept opposite to each other. The priests dress up in a sari as a woman and do the Uchikala Puja and Abhishekam in the temple. The next is the fire element, the temple for which is located in Thiruvannamalai. Lord Shiva is depicted as the Agni Lingam and is known as Annamaleshwarar. His consort Unnamalai Amman is also worshipped here. Goddess Parvati playfully closed the eyes of Shiva, leading to blackout in the universe for thousands of years. Upon penance by his devotees, Lord Shiva appeared as a column of fire on Annamalai hill in Thiruvannamalai. When Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma contested for superiority, Shiva appeared as an infinite column of flame and challenged them to find his source. Brahma took the form of a swan and flew upwards towards the sky, while Vishnu became a boar and went downwards. Vishnu failed to find the source and conceded defeat. Brahma lied that he had found the head by convincing the falling Ketaki flower to be the proof. Shiva got angry and ordained that Brahma would never have temple worship on earth. The 𝗟𝗲𝗁𝗃 temple depicts air element. Lord Shiva is worshipped in the form of Vayulingam. The presiding deity is 𝗟𝗲𝗁𝗃 along with his consort Jnana Prasunambika, and this temple is located on the banks of Swarnamukhi river. The lingam is karpura or white in color. The lamp inside the inner sanctum constantly flickers due to an unknown source of air, and the lingam is observed to sway despite a closed, windowless sanctum sanctorum. Sri 𝗟𝗲𝗁 is also known as the Kailash of the south. It gets its name from Sri, spider, Kala, snake, Hasti, elephant. Sri worshipped Shiva by weaving its web around the Lord. His offerings got destroyed one day due to the flame from the adjacent deepam. Bubbling with anger, he was about to gulp the flame when Lord Shiva appreciated his devotion and granted him moksha. Kala worshipped Shiva by offering rubies, gems, and pearls from Nagaloka. Hasti worshipped Shiva by spraying fresh water from a nearby river with its trunk and offered flowers and leaves. Hasti's worship resulted in scattering the precious stones and replacing them with leaves. This annoyed Kala as it happened every day. One fine day, he saw Hasti offering his prayer, and this is when he injected venom by slithering up its trunk. In agony, Hasti dashed its head to a stone and both died. Lord Shiva blessed them with moksha as both had sacrificed their life for the sake of their love towards the Lord. According to another regional tradition, it is said to be the site where Kannappa Nayanar was ready to offer both his eyes to cover blood flowing from the lingam before Shiva stopped him and granted him moksha. The last Pancha Bhoota Sthalam is that of the Thillai Natarajar temple in Chidambaram, which signifies the space element. His consort here is goddess Shivakama Sundari. Lord Shiva was once strolling in Thillai Vanam, mangrove forest located at Chidambaram, inhabited by sages who performed magic rituals and tantric practices. The wives of the sages were enchanted by Shiva, and this enraged the sages who invoked serpents. Lord Shiva donned them as ornaments on his mated locks, neck, waist. The sages then invoked a fierce tiger whose skin was used by Lord Shiva as a waist shawl. Then followed a fierce elephant which Shiva ripped to death, and finally the sages invoked Muyalakan, symbol of arrogance, ignorance, who was crushed to death under his feet, and Shiva performed Ananda Tandava, dance of eternal bliss. The Pancha Bhoota Sthalams are beautifully connected with lights depicting 𝗏𝗏𝗁𝗏𝗏. The second interesting theme of this Golu is the Pancha Kedar temples located in Uttarakhand. The story goes thus. When the Pandavas won the Mahabharata war, they felt they had committed a sin by killing their own kith and kin and went to Himalayas in search of Lord Shiva to pardon their act. Lord Shiva was avoiding to meet them and was later found in 𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗃. Shiva hid himself as a bull. While Bhima tried to pull him, Shiva split into 5 parts, and these 5 parts are called as Pancha Kedar temple built by the Pancha Pandavas at Kedarnath, Tungnath, Rudranath, Mahamadeshwar and Kalpeshwar. Rudranath, one among the Pancha Kedar, is also one of the highest Shiva temples in the world and rests at 3,600 meters above sea level. Shiva is worshipped in the face form and as Nilakanta Mahadeva. There are many water ponds and lakes around the temple called as Surya, Chandrakund, Tarakund, Manakund. The holy river Vaitharani flows near the temple. This river is called the River of Salvation. The big hump of the bull in the mountain range is where this most revered Shiva temple at Kedarnath is located. During the major natural floods in 2013, while the whole town was swept away, a huge boulder behind the temple prevented the gushing floodwaters from damaging the temple and diverted the water around the temple. This boulder stone is called as Bhimshila. Standing majestically at 3,580 meters on the Himalayan Garhwal ranges, Kedarnath is one of the 12 Jyotirlingas of Lord Shiva. It is said that Pandavas constructed the original Kedarnath temple, which was later restructured by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. The main idol in this temple is a Swayambhu stone irregular shaped Linga. This temple is made from grey hunk of stones and interlocked with the use of iron clamps. Tungnath, which signifies the arms of the bull, is the highest of the 5 Pancha Kedar temples and located in Rudraprayag district. The Tungnath is located at an altitude of 3,690 meters and just below the peak of Chandrashila. The temple is closed for 6 months during winter and the priests move down to Markandeshwar temple. It is situated on the ridge of the mountain that splits the 2 major rivers of Mandakini and Alaknanda, which flows down through different paths and meet in Rudraprayag. Kalpeshwar is the only Pancha Kedar temple that represents the head and matted hairlock of the bull and is located in Urgram Valley. This is a small stone temple at an altitude of 2,200 meters. Due to the worship of matted hairlock, this temple is also called as Jateshwar or Jatadhar. The priests in this temple are called Dasnamis or Gosains. The valley of Urgram has a lot of apple orchards and potato fields. Perched on a comfortable and convenient altitude of 3,400 meters, Madhya Maheshwar represents the belly of the bull that Shiva took to hide from the Pandavas. This is the only temple in the Pancha Kedar that is open for more than 6 months and closes only during severe winter snowfall. Bhima is said to have built this temple when he identified the belly of the bull to that of Shiva. Shiva is worshipped here along with Parvati, and the idol is a beautiful greyish light green stone idol. I'm sure all of you would have been captivated by this beautiful Golu presentation of the Pancha Bhoota Sthalams and Pancha Kedar temples. It has been a sheer delight for us at Vidya Parampara to capture Mrs. Priyadarshini's Golu, and we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to her for extending cooperation during the shoot. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.